Guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Pisces for April 2021. Keep in mind it's a general message. Take what you feel resonates for you, disregard the rest, go about your day, and know that no matter what messages do come through today, it's still up to you and your active free will, the choices you make and the steps you take in your world to get whatever fulfillment it is you'd like to see. To me, that's personal freedom, it's personal power, and it lies at the tips of your fingers and at the soles of your feet, my friends. So use this power to do wisely. I just want to say a big shout out to all my subscribers. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. You guys truly mean the world to me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. It's nice to see you. If you feel like this resonates and you'd like to see more, please hit subscribe. Join the journey with me. Let me encounter your energy more often. It'd be wonderful to have you along this ride. And guys, if you do like this video, please hit the like button. Help me circulate these messages. I truly, truly appreciate your support. And if you do want to share these messages as well, all the power to you guys. I would appreciate that as well. So before I get into these, I just want to take a moment to call in spirit. I'm going to ask any of your spirit guides to come through that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Raphael, as well as my team of light, to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you guys who would ask for it, to use me as the clearest channel possible, delivering messages that are for the most far-reaching of you guys, but for the highest good only. No second-rate messages here today. If you hear my birds in the background, I apologize. They are currently in their cage. They're not flying around because one of my birds, Kiwi, she flew into the wall yesterday or the day before. I think it's a couple days here, and she's lost some of her feathers around her neck. So they are staying in there so she can recuperate and get better again, and they may be a little bit noisy. I'm in the bird room, so all apologies for that. So I'm going to get started now. I just wanted to give a huge disclaimer about my birds because they could get noisy. They hear me talking and they start squawking because they want to talk too. I'm going to start out today with the Work Your Light Oracle, and we're going to get some spiritual advice for the sign of Pisces going forward this month. Now, I am calling this message in for April 2021. We're halfway through the month. I'm filming on April 15th. This may actually resonate for a different time as well. We may be picking up something that is from a past life, a past situation, or something you're encountering right now, something that hasn't happened yet. Just use a discerning mind and keep an open heart, my friends. So one of the cards that came out here is Break the Chain. That's the card that came out first. And it says Ancestral Patterns, Healings, Rewriting the Future. And right away, what I'm getting about this, in terms of rewriting the future, it means that we may have to see past situations in a little bit different of light. Spirit's reminding me of Mercury retrograde. I don't think Mercury's in retrograde currently. I'm not sure when Mercury is going back into retrograde, but I think this comes with this energy of Mercury retrograde, where in order to rewrite our future, we are going to have to rethink our past, rethink our current situations, and kind of, I heard, like, develop a focused vision going forward and what we would like. This may make this may mean that healing is really important, because if we're rethinking or reviewing situations and coming from a different light, it's because we're no longer so attached that we're stuck in the meat and the gravy and the hurt and the pain. We're coming from a little bit more detached, where we can see the choices we made may have been maybe not our best, we may see, but there's this point where that's where you were at the time, and there's a reason you made those choices. Had you not made those choices, you wouldn't have grown into the person you are today. So this is really giving yourself a lot of grace on that. Rewriting the future, healing ancestral patterns, this kind of stuff as well. They're giving me the poverty is an example of ancestral patterns. If we have been born into a family that has sort of limited means or resources, and our family was born into that and continuing on and so forth, you know, it may be a little bit difficult for you guys, or I know I wasn't born into crazy money or anything like that, but it's going to be a lot different if you're born into royalty and you have money and everything that you could possibly need is there. Okay, so there's these ideas of thinking as well as ancestral patterns patterning that may have you guys thinking, well, I'm never going to have that great big mansion on Hollywood Hill, or I'm not going to be rich and famous because I come from this line, and this is where you want to rewrite that history. If you want to be rich and famous and live in Hollywood with a giant mansion, there is something there that will get you there, even if it's a whole lot of hard work and saving up and moving. But there may be other things, right? So really, really healing. If you notice as well that you're doing things just because this is the way that it's always been done, this is a real perfect time to transform, to say, you know what, I see this in the past. Play came out. So one thing that Spirit right away was like workaholic. There are a lot of views that would be like, you know what, you should be working as much as possible, you know, and this is also where it says have fun, celebrate, don't be too serious. And this could even be an ancestral narrative that has stuck with us. So for example, if we have been kind of born into the working class, we'll call it that, our parents probably had to work a lot just to procure the means of survival, to put a roof on our head, to feed us. Some of us are going through that right now, working really, really hard just to be able to provide for our families, provide for ourselves. And here's where we need to break the chain of that thinking and have a little bit of fun, because life can't be all about work. That's not a life, right? There needs to be balance here. So Spirit is definitely saying play, have fun, don't take yourself too seriously, and break these chains that bind us, these ancestral chains. Spirit is asking me to read a little bit of Break the Chain, and I absolutely am going to. Again, I apologize for my birds. They're pretty loud in the background. So, Break the Chain. I'm going to hold up the card and let you look at it too. If throughout this reading I trigger you, I say something that, you know, you feel a certain kind of way about, how can you use your empowered vulnerability, your feelings, right, to create positive change going forward? Was there something that was said that is provoking a need for healing as well? So let's read this. It says, you are being called to heal your family line or free yourself from living the life of your ancestors. This could mean letting go of an old pattern or your maternal or paternal line, healing trauma from the past that is not even yours, or observing old ways of being that no longer serve you. We carry emotional trauma in our luminous field for up to 7 generations back. This is why family patterns can be the hardest to break. Often they're not even yours to begin with. But we do not know another way of being, so we continue playing out the drama. The thing to notice when ancestral healing comes up is that you cannot heal another person, but your own healing can cause another person to choose to heal. Energy is freed up. You're being guided now to look at your life and decide what you want it to be. What ways of being or patterns are you ready to free yourself from? What part of your future do you want to rewrite? Now is the time to shake them off and dream a new dream or a new future into being. So the questions that could help you are, what are the old ways of being from your family line that you're ready to give up? It says also to seek assistance from a support team, your tribe, your friends, a healer, a coach, etc., to begin freeing yourself right now. I'm also hearing mantras or like positive affirmations as well. So it could be, one of the things I'm hearing is, I am free. I am free to follow my dreams. I am a perfect child of God in all my divinity, and my feelings and my goals are divinely guided. I am protected along my path. I'm protected along my mission. I am playful. I give myself permission to celebrate. I am rewriting history. I am breaking the change. I am creating a new cycle. That's definitely one thing I'm hearing. So I'm going to check the bottom of the deck, which is boundaries, which may be really one of those things that in order to kind of stop all of this stuff that's happening over here with family, you may actually need to put some boundaries in place. This doesn't mean you don't love those people, but it may mean that, you know, if there's judgment being imposed on you, you're setting those boundaries up so that it's not actually going to affect you. You know that that's their opinion, and it's okay. That's the belief system, and the way of being that they have chose, but you're going to choose a little bit different, okay? So where do you need to establish better boundaries? And I think it's important as well to know that it's not being mean. It's self-care to put those boundaries up. So for example, if you have somebody who comes to your house 4 days a week and they are tormenting the shit out of you, okay, here's an example. Or if you have somebody who's just texting you and calling you constantly, even when you're in bed, it's waking you up, you have every right to set some boundaries and say, look, you know, I really love you, I love spending time with you, I enjoy our friendship, I enjoy our relationship, but I go to bed at this time or after this time of day, I'm not going to answer my phone because I need some time to me. You have every right to set those in place as well. This could also be like, I heard like somebody who's nagging or nitpicking, or they get into your business. You have every right to say, listen, I understand you don't really agree with the choices that I'm making, but they're mine to make, so could you please allow me to live my life? You know, if I do require assistance or I want some advice, I will ask for it. So you can also ask people not to give you that unsolicited advice, that they may be meaning well, but there's a lot of places where if you have unhealed people giving you advice and they're still in their trauma spot, if I'm hearing like that may not actually be the most beneficial for you. So make sure you're getting enough playtime. Set some strong boundaries. This could even be for yourself, that you know what, I'm telling people not to text me after 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to put my phone down. I'm not going to look at that. I'm not going to stare at my screen. I'm going to turn the TV off. I'm going to go to sleep. These are, I'm hearing rules, but they're not necessarily rules. They're something that's good for our behavior and as well as good for our mental health. So that's the message there. I'm going to bring a message now from the Wildwood Tarot and see what messages Spirit would have for Pisces, please. So tell me what messages. Let's focus on the play and the celebrate. So these cards I'm going to take because they came out in my hand. This one, these two flew out, and Spirit's like, yo, grab the bottom. The bottom is the Archer, which has come out so many times this month, and I think it's a really great thing. The same with this 10 of Wands. I've shuffled and shuffled these cards, okay? This month, I think on a wide range, Spirit's like, we want you to learn the skills that you've been learning, to use those skills, to be able to shoot your arrow and go after your goals. That's really awesome, right? This is not a time, I heard, to sit back and watch. This is the time to be active. Now, in terms of that, though, that doesn't mean that you're out of the house every single day or you're constantly on the move and you're not taking time to relax. This is that it could even be with play, or you're setting boundaries from your couch, you know. There's a lot of action, even though it may not be a place where we're actually moving, okay? So the other cards that came out is the Queen of Arrows, which is a beautiful, graceful, majestic swan. This could be an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You also have the King of Vessels here, which is also pretty wonderful. This could be a water sign, a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And you get the Seven of Bows in reverse. Now, in this deck, the Wildwood Tarot, it's about clearance. A lot of times the Seven is about hostilities, about people getting up when you grill, about having a lot of choices or options and not sure which way to turn. This one is like there's something that needs to be cleared, but I feel like I heard advance, like you may want to start making advances, but I also heard that there may be a block here. So I am definitely picking up that this is between two people, that this could be both parts of you as well. You're masculine and you're feminine, you know, thinking above, keeping your head above water, and also being able, though, to understand your emotions. Funny enough, too, that the Swan and the King of Vessels both here, that the Heron is standing in the water. He understands his emotion, but he's able to keep his head up and to be thinking clearly. And the Swan, who's actually air, is floating on that water, right? I think there's a real understanding and owning of the emotions, but still able to keep a firm grasp on reality, is what I heard. So there may be something right now that needs to be cleared, but I think it's also because either you have not let yourself be in the feels, because both of these there's water, but our head's so up above it that you may not have really gone deep into felt what needs to be felt. Okay, so I think this card being in the reverse is that if you've been trying to play too logical on this, it's time. Even this could be what the breaking the chain is that a lot of us come from a long line of gulpers, and I'm hearing from Seinfeld, George's dad, Jerry Seinfeld, I think it's not Jerry, it's Arthur, his dad, whatever his name is, okay? But serenity now. We got stress, serenity now. That's all we're going to do is we're going to go around and say serenity now, or we're going to gulp those feelings down. It doesn't do anything. It just helps them to build up and to build up and to build up so that when we finally snap, we lose it. This, I think, is important because you need to know what you're feeling. And if you are trying to break old patterns, but you're still up in here, you're not actually figuring out what patterns are tied to emotional reactions that are keeping you stuck or stagnant. So I think that this is where it's like, it's taken some dedication. Figure out what needs to be cleared and then set, or I heard aim your sights higher, aim your sights to be able to clear whatever this is. Okay, so I'm going to check the bottom of the deck, and we actually have the 10 of stones here. So Pisces, this could have to do with a home life as well. This could be about finances. I definitely am picking up on two people though. Could be you guys with the water sign and another air sign. But something needs to be released. Something needs to be cleared to be able to move into a new start or to a new system or to a new way of being. If there's breakdown within the home as well, I heard like some of you may be unable to clear this because we're in COVID and the housing market. I live in Canada right now in Ontario. The housing market has gone absolutely crazy. Places where I live are doubled in what they would actually get. So here's where, and it's going back to this working class or things like that. If you've been trying to get a house, if you've been trying to upgrade, if you've been trying to move your space, this isn't really the best time for people who don't have extra means, is what I'm hearing, okay? So also they're talking about layoffs. There's a lot of job insecurity as well right now. Like, not everybody can do their job from home, right? Some people actually need to go to work, and there's an extra risk there involved as well. So this is where if you are in a high stress situation, Spirit's also reminding you to take the time and play. Don't let that stress ruin your day. Don't let that stress ruin your relationships at home either, okay? I feel like this also could have to do with we're setting our sights on a new home, and you may have to create boundaries in there too on just what that means for you. So I'm going to bring now some messages from the Earth Magic Oracle and see what advice Spirit has going forward here. Spirit, thank you. I'm going to take those two, and these two fell, and they're like, yo, grab the bottom, which is Dreamtime and Creation. This card, when I was pre-shuffling, actually flipped out as well. So we also have Wind and Activation. We have Generations and Ancestors, and that's pretty clear here with this breaking the cycle. We're healing ancestral trauma. We have Blessings with the Rainbow and Power. Right off the bat, with these two cards, what I heard is that this is really learning to understand the blessings that have happened after the storm. They're bringing me to biblical reference, actually, of after, like, the flood and Noah's Ark, and once it stopped raining, the story is that there was a rainbow as God's promise that this wouldn't happen again. Well, those rainbows, it's the silver lining. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. It's the calm after the storm. It's everything's done. And now look at this beautiful rainbow. Things are going to be okay. And I heard like there's a real sense of hope here. This power as well, I feel like whatever you're going through, whatever you've had to go through, if this is changing homes, whatever it is, whatever cycles, whatever chains need to be broken, this helps you to identify your personal power, to be able to stand in your personal power. If there's boundaries that you needed to set with family members or loved ones, it wouldn't be easy at the time. It might be like going through war, like going through hell and really, really clawing your way, I heard, like out of this situation. If that may not make sense to everybody, but for some of you guys, if you've been, like I heard, in a really codependent relationship, or if you have people like I said, those people that coming over 4 times a week because they just need something to do, they're not going to be probably all cool with the boundaries you're setting. Does that mean you shouldn't set them? Absolutely not. It gives you more reason to set them, because this person or this group of people, this job, whatever it is, it's like draining you and sucking the life out of you. It's stealing your power. So Spirit's wanting to know that, you know what? I heard, your power is important. It flows like lightning. Not only that, it is just as natural as lightning. We don't need to have a blow up or a thunderstorm to be able to show everybody our power. Our power can be done in the ways that we love ourselves, the boundaries that we set for ourselves, and the way that we enforce these. So with wind and activation, there's a lot here as well. You may be really receiving kind of, I heard like telepathic messages from Spirit. You may be being asked even just to get outside in the wind and feel the power that the universe has, right? Feel that power to blow things and move it around. Listen to the sounds of the trees, meditate. But this is also, if you get an idea to do something, to go somewhere, use that momentum. Take it as a message from Spirit. This dream time and creation, as well as what I'm hearing, is that, I think it's from Field of Dreams, but if you build it, they will come. This is your own spiritual practice as well. Building your spiritual practice so that you can understand messages that come to you, but you're going to be also kind of, it's like flexing that spiritual muscle. You're going to be receiving more of this kind of information. And the word I heard was divine information. So pay attention to your dreams, as well as know that when we think about something, if we're daydreaming, this is the first place of creation, because we're actually creating what I heard is an alternate reality within our minds. I apologize if my voice keeps altering high and low. It's, my birds are so noisy. I don't even know if you guys can hear it as loud as I can. I truly hope not, but you create your reality by the steps you put in forward here. So do you want to create a reality that's filled with trauma and being stuck, or do you want to create a reality where you are in your personal power, you're setting boundaries, and you're allowing yourself to play? I feel like this is really your call and your choice, my friends. So just remember that I heard life is not a race, and it's important to have fun. So that's the message that I have for you guys. Throughout this as well with the ancestors, they want me to show you this. It's not your job to carry on to ancestral curses or ancestral trauma. And like this card said with Break the Chain, trauma can stay in our light field, so our luminous field, our light field, for 7 generations. So here's this place where I always think of the continuation, and I'll call it a violence, but you could use so many other things here, right? Poverty mentality as well, or being in poverty. But the violence is one of the easiest ways to think about this, because if we consider, years back, so if we kind of may have had a bad childhood, or maybe we had a great one, but our parents had bad ones, and then their parents had bad ones, and their parents had bad ones, and not understanding how to deal with conflict or anything like that, you can really see how this spirals down because of experiences that your great-great-great-grandparents could have had. Well, then your great-great-grandparents or your great-grandparents, here's how they lived. And then your grandparents, this is their life. Your parents, this was your life. This was your life. And hopefully, if you're healing, here's your kids' life. You're not going to want to put them through that stuff. And what I'm hearing, though, is you can't guarantee anything. All you can know is that you're responsible for your own healing in this world, my friends. And that also gives us this power, I heard, to play, but it's a power play. Because it means that when we're responsible for our own healing and we're active in it, we can create our new realities, we can rewrite our futures, and we can help create a better world for the people that we love, as well as set an example for the other people in our lives as well, that this is how it's done, my friends. So this is for real what I have, Pisces. I hope it helped. I hope it resonated. If you'd like to let me know in the comments, I would love to hear from you. I love you all, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys.